Thursday is looking at some hands that were played last week. Last Thursday, there were a few interesting hands, I thought, and I'm going to have a look at three of them this evening. And there are some questions coming up, so you can give me your thoughts on them. So here was the first hand I wanted to look at. It was board one, and you can see this was played by in heart contract by some north-south, some east-west played it in a club contract. And in the heart contract, you can see the computer says that declarer can make four hearts. Some did make four hearts, some didn't quite make it. And we're going to look at different ways that this was played. So this is the first one I wanted to look at. North opened one heart. And last week, if you remember, the topic was weak jump over calls. So East's three clubs here is a weak bid. That hand is suitable for a weak jump over call. And it shows a weak hand with normally at the three level a 7 cards. Now that makes it hard for South to bid. You'd like to bid something with the South hand. So you probably pass, I agree with that. And I think North should probably come back in with 3 hearts. Even though it's a little speculative, you don't really want to let the opponents play in 3 clubs. Here, South, I think, should probably bid 4 hearts, given that their partner was able to bid 3 hearts all on their own. Maybe you should end up in 4 hearts. Anyway, this particular pair ended up in 3 hearts, and East was on lead. North is declarer here, and they led the king of clubs. And I've got a few questions for you. And these are going to be polls going out in a moment. And the first poll question is, how many possible losers do you think declarer has here? So let me give you a minute to count up how many possible losers you think declarer has. And then I'm going to launch a poll and give you a chance to vote on that. So I'll give you a little bit longer to count 4 suits here. Okay, and here comes the poll, and the question is, how many possible losers does declarer have? So let me know what you think. Any others coming in? Oh, we've got 78% of you have voted, 81%.
Didn't have time to see it before you put the poll up.
Okay. You can end it and relaunch it. Okay. Anyway, let's end it there and let's have a look at it, and I'll share the results with you. And the majority there have gone for 4, 52%, with a smaller number, 26% going for 3, and 23% going for 5. So let's have a look at this. Let me close that and let's see what we think. Well, when we're counting our losers, we'll count our losers from the point of view of the hand with a long trump suit, but taking into account all the strength in dummy. And I think we're not going to lose any spades. We may or may not lose a heart, right? We've got 9 trump, including the missing the queen. So we might lose 1 to the queen. So I'm going to count that as a possible loser. We've got a diamond loser, and we've got 2 club losers. So I agree with 4 as the most, as the number of possible losers. Could only be 3 if we can avoid a trump loser. So it's 3 or 4, if you like. 4 possible, 3 if we're lucky. Okay, do you all agree with that? Anyway, what I'm going to do is just show you how this hand was played 3 different times, and we'll see what we think about it. I've removed people's names. I don't want to embarrass anyone, but this is actually how it went on 3 of the occasions. So they led the king of clubs, and West overtook with the ace, led a club back. Okay, so they've taken 2 club tricks. And then they led the Jack of Spades. And Declarer gets in with top spade. And what do you think Declarer should do now?
Take out the trumps.
Yes, take out the trumps. I mean, there's no reason not to, is there? There are hands where you should delay it for some reason, but unless you have a reason, you should just draw trumps. Unfortunately, what this declarer did was they played the King of Diamonds. The opponents took the ace and led a spade back, and East was able to ruff, okay, because declarer hadn't drawn trumps. Now a diamond comes back, and now declarer draws trumps, and the queen falls, and the last trump falls, and now declarer played the spades and is now down to only trumps and could claim 9 tricks. But declarer just lost a trick there just because they failed to draw trumps. And East, if you like, played quite well by leading the Jack of Spades at some point, and then got a chance to ruff later on. So that was one time it was played. Here's another one. It went, the bidding here I agree with, 1 heart, 3 clubs, 3. Well, no, sorry, I don't agree with 3 hearts, but the final contract I think is probably a reasonable one. And this time, again, they led the King of Clubs. They played another club, which they won with the ace. And West led a spade here. So declarer won that one. And declarer, again on this hand, instead of drawing trumps, played another spade. I mean, I can't imagine what the point of that is. You're just putting yourself at risk. There's absolutely no point in doing that before you've drawn trumps. So once again, the opponents were able to ruff this one. East then did well, and they switched to a diamond. Their partner got in with the ace, and of course they gave their partner another ruff. Okay, so that was good defense, but really declarer brought it on themselves by not drawing trump. Now they belatedly draw trumps and can make the rest of the tricks, but they're down 2 there, only making 8 tricks. All right, so what was the lesson on that? Well, I suppose just drawing trumps unless you have a good reason not to. Okay, do stop me if you have any questions. Finally, let's have a look at this one. This time I think the bidding was what I would say is probably the best bidding sequence. 1 heart, 3 clubs, pass, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. And this time East led a singleton spade. Now, leading a singleton, can work out well. So it could be the right thing to do. Anyway, let's see what happened. Declarer won this one, of course, and this time Declarer did the right thing by drawing trumps. They played the ace, they played another heart back. The hearts divide evenly here, so there are no more hearts to draw. Declarer now played the 2 spades, the king and the queen of spades. Okay, and I have a second question for you now, a second poll question, which I don't answer verbally, but the question is, which suit should declarer play now? So the question is, which suit should declarer play now? Have a little think. I'll give you another few seconds to think about it. Are you ready? Okay. So here is the second poll. Which suit should declarer play now? Hearts, diamonds, or clubs? Great, everyone has answered. Oh, I see. Oh no, everyone hasn't answered. But the number, it's had 100%, but it's not quite right. Great. So let's give it another minute or so. Not a minute, a few seconds. Okay, I'll end the poll there. And I'm going to share the results with you. Most of you have gone for diamonds here. 2/3 went for diamonds, with 19% going for clubs and 16% going for hearts. So let's have a look at this. Well, what's happened here? We've drawn trumps. We've played 3 rounds of spades, and the fact that the Jack of Spades went early means that your 10 of spades is good. Okay, so you can make use of that 10 of spades to discard a loser, except you have to get to dummy. How can you get to dummy?
With a heart.
With a heart. Correct. Those of you who said a heart were correct. The best lead here, of course, is a heart. A low heart is the only way of getting to dummy without losing the lead. And then you'd get there with the 10 of hearts and you'd be able to cash the 10 of spades. And on that, you'd be able to throw away a club. Unfortunately, this declarer didn't do that. This declarer played a diamond. And West won this one with the ace. And by now, West here has just won the ace of diamonds, must surely, absolutely be thinking about cashing their clubs. That was their partner's suit. Clubs have not been touched so far. And it's, from looking at dummy and from looking at your own hand and the bidding, you're absolutely crying out for a switch to a club. Unfortunately, West didn't find that switch and carried on with the diamond, which just so much helps declarer. They took their king there, and now declarer gets to dummy with the heart. So they get to dummy with the heart, and now they're in very good shape because they can cash the queen of diamonds, discarding 1 club, and they can cash the 10 of spades, discarding the other club, and they claimed 11 tricks. And what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with it?
They should not play the diamonds. If they would have played the clubs, then you would have lost the 2 tricks.
What's wrong with that is that declarer has 12 tricks. Declarer now has made 9 tricks, and they've got 3 trump left, and they should have claimed 12 tricks. But they didn't. They claimed 11 tricks.
Okay.
And that was the result. So here, if I had been told, during the play, I think I claimed the wrong number of tricks, or even shortly afterwards, I would adjust the score to be 12 tricks.
Okay.
But here, because it was claimed 11 tricks and that was accepted, that's the result. So I included this one really just to remind you that you can misclaim sometimes, either to your advantage or to your disadvantage. And if you notice that before the end of the game or shortly after, then do let me know. And if it's clearly a wrong claim, then I can adjust it. Okay, but in fact, declarer should have claimed 12 tricks there, and obviously that it was a good score anyway. But it might have been even better if you'd made 12.
Tony.
Yes.
Tony, I thought it was automatic. You know, when it gives you an option to claim.
It gives you the option about how many tricks to claim.
It's normally the top one is the one that
you have to decide. You have to decide how many tricks to claim. Yeah, so watch out for that if you've been claiming the wrong number of tricks.
Can the dummy intervene at any point? If they think their partners, think their partners claimed the wrong number.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, so the way it works on Real Bridge is that you would claim and they would accept the trick, but it's quite all right for dummy to tell declarer afterwards, after the end, because that will end the hand once the claim is accepted. So it's quite all right for dummy to tell declarer, I think you claimed the wrong number of tricks there. So I believe that's completely ethical. Okay.
So Tony, if they had played the heart to get into 10 of spades,
yes,
have made 13 tricks or still 12?
Well, no, I don't think they're going to make any. I mean, they'd be aiming to make, they'd be aiming to make an extra trick by discarding on the 10 of spades. So they'd be aiming to make 11 tricks. But the way it was actually played, they got 2 discards of the Queen of Diamonds and the 10 on the 10 of spades. So that's why they made 12 tricks. But really, 10 is the limit on this hand if the defense are defending correctly. Okay.
But yeah. Tony, I want to know, how do you decide that you can make 12 tricks?
How? Well, because you can. So if we go all the way through to the end, and we're at this point here, and Declarer has just won the 9th trick, 9 tricks, and now they've got 3 more trumps left. So they would claim...
No, that I understand. But this much of calculation doing is big thing.
I don't understand your question, sorry.
Means it is very difficult to, I think to make 12 tricks on this hand for me.
Yeah, you shouldn't make 12 tricks. If the defense defended better, you'd only make 10 tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but here Declarer actually did make 12, but only claimed 11. So that was the score that stood. Okay, let's have a look at another hand. Another one I wanted to look at was board 3. And let's have a look at this one. Again, this was played generally in a heart contract by East-West, although some people played it in a spade contract by North-South. So let's have a look at a few times that this was played. Again, this was one involving a weak jump over call. South here opened a club, and if you're playing weak jump over calls, this is a hand suitable for 2 hearts. That shows a weak hand like an opening weak 2. North will probably pass. East here, I agree with that 3 heart bid, but West should absolutely not bid 4 hearts there. The 2 heart bid is like a preempt, and once you've preempted, you should not bid again. However, this Declarer did bid 4 hearts, and let's have a look at how it went, playing in 4 hearts. So the opponents here led a spade, and let's have a look at the 2 hands. It's being played by West here, and again, I'd like you to think about how many losers you have, looking at it from the point of view of the West hand, but taking into account all the strength in dummy. So take a minute. I've not got a poll on this one, but see if anyone would like to tell me how many losers they think they might have here.
Oh.
5.
This one's not quite so clear cut, is it? I mean, we're going to lose a spade here. We hope we won't lose any hearts. We'll come back to diamonds in a minute, and we've got 1 club loser. So we've got 1 spade, 1 club loser, and in hearts, we're probably going to lose at least 2 hearts, aren't we? We're missing the ace and the king. What we're hoping for is that we'll manage to make a diamond here, because you could, in theory, lose all the diamonds to the ace, the king, and the jack. But we're going to lose at least 2. So I think, well, we've got 1 spade, 1 club, and at least 2 diamonds. So 4 likely losers, maybe 5. And let's just see how Declarer played this. Well, before we do that, what's going to be your plan on this hand? Anyone like to suggest what your plan might be?
Draw trumps.
Draw trumps, Ros said very quietly. Yeah, I agree with that. I would draw trump. My thinking here is I'm going to draw trumps. The only way I'm going to make a trick in diamonds is if I'm lucky in the diamonds, or maybe if North leads a diamond, that might help me. Otherwise, I'm going to try and get to dummy and lead diamonds towards my honours in my hand. And that's really the only chance to make some, the best chance to make some diamond trick. So anyway, let's see what happened. Declarer here started off by playing low. I don't really agree with that. I mean, if this were no trump, there is some merit in that, but there's no real reason to play low here. You're always going to lose one spade trick, so I would just win that. Anyway, they carried on in spades. Declarer took that one with the ace, and now Declarer played the 9 of spades. And here, you know, Declarer here is trying to rough, but they're roughing in the long hand, in the hand with a long trump suit. And there's absolutely no merit in that. It doesn't give you anything really. You know, roughing in the short hand is what you should aim to do, and you can't really do that here. Anyway, that's what they did. They roughed, but it didn't gain them anything. You know, they were just putting themselves at a slight risk of an overruff. Anyway, now what? Well, now Declarer played the ace of clubs. Again, totally pointless to start cashing those tricks before you've drawn trumps. Now they started drawing trumps. Okay, and they played another round, and the jack fell. And that's actually the last trump. That's 8 gone plus the one you roughed. So all the trumps are gone. The only problem is now, because of the way you played that, you can't even get to dummy to lead a diamond. You have to lead, if you want to play diamond, you're going to be leading from the west hand. You've got no entries to the east hand. So if you play diamonds, you'd have to lead them yourself. Here they led a club, which of course the opponents won. They played another club, which Declarer was able to rough, but now they either have to play a heart or they play diamonds from their own hand. Here they led the queen of diamonds. It lost to the king. The opponents cashed the ace of diamonds. And let me just bring up the 4 hands here, because South is about to commit a mistake here, because South here made the mistake of switching to a club. Now, the problem with playing a club here is that there are no clubs in dummy. You don't know exactly whether there are any clubs in the west hand, unless you've been counting them. You would know that there aren't any. But the problem with leading a club is it gives Declarer a chance to rough in one hand while they discard from the other. So Declarer here can make an extra trick because they've led a suit that you are void in both hands while you still have trumps in both hands. So Declarer can make an extra trick by discarding a loser while they rough in the other hand. What should Declarer play here? What should they play when the 6 of clubs is played? What should they play from the west hand?
10 of diamonds.
Yes, of course. They've got to discard the diamond, which they'll be able to rough, and then they'll have trump left. So the defense gave Declarer a chance here to make an extra trick. Unfortunately, Declarer didn't do it. They roughed in the wrong hand. They roughed with a heart in their own hand. They can discard a diamond, but they still have a diamond loser. So now all Declarer can do is lose that diamond, and they made 8 tricks there. Okay, so they were down 2. Any comments or questions? This is another time it was played, and this was a bit better. This time they led a club, which Declarer won with the ace, and they started off on trumps right away. So they led the ace of hearts. They played a heart back to the king. That's actually all the trumps gone now. Although Declarer actually played the 8, maybe they were sort of checking. Anyway, what they did though was they retained the lead in dummy, so that now they can play the diamonds, and they led a diamond towards their own hand. South went up with the ace, cashed the king, and I hope you can see that's helping Declarer now. In fact, South now played a club, which they were able to take, but when they cashed when they played the last diamond, Declarer not only won with the queen, but it set up a 4th diamond in dummy. That 6 of diamonds is now good. So Declarer still has entries there, so they got over to the ace of spades. They obviously were noticing that the diamonds were good, and they were able to cash that last diamond and throw away the spade, and actually made 10 tricks. So really, it was a mistake there by South in playing the diamonds 3 times that really helped Declara not just make a trick with the queen, but making an extra trick with their last diamond. Okay, any comments on that?
Tony, about the bidding.
Yeah.
One club, I mean, he's got 17 points. South.
Yeah. So what do you think South should rebid?
Two no trumps.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. So over 2 hearts, you don't really know what your partner's got there, right? Because your partner is a passed hand. So 2 no trump is very speculative, in particular because you have no heart stopper. So that 2 heart bid has made it difficult for North-South to bid. I think obviously some North-Souths do actually have a spade fit, but it's quite hard for them to find it.
Could South double?
Yeah, I think South double is the only alternative there, because you don't want to let them play it in 2 hearts. I would double there, and hopefully, and planning to pass whatever your partner bids there. So yeah, I think a double is much better than 2 no trump. I mean, as you can see, 2 no trump would not do well here, because the opponents would run away with the hearts. Any other comments? Let's have a look at the last one. This was board 6. This was actually a random hand, and let me just get that on the screen. Most people here ended in 3 no trump, although no one actually, very few people made 3 no trump. You can see the computer says that 3 no trump can be made, but it is very difficult to make. It really can only be made either only if the defense help you, or if you know where all the cards are. So it's very hard to make 3 no trump there. But I think that's a reasonable contract. Let's have a look at how it was played a couple of times. So this was one time it was played. East opened 1 no trump. I agree with that. But I don't agree with that 2 no trump bid. You've got 14 points, I think. Fairly balanced hand. So the correct bid there is 3 no trump. I see this happen quite a lot. People are maybe timid, and instead of bidding 3 no trump, they bid 2 no trump. But really, that's the wrong bid. Anyway, they bid 2 no trump. North here overcalls 3 hearts, and now West bid 3 no trump anyway. So there we are. Let's have a look at this. And obviously, North, having bid 3 hearts, is expecting their partner to lead a heart. Unfortunately, South can't oblige on this occasion, and they lead the king of diamonds. So what I'd like you to do is have a little think about this hand and tell me how many top tricks you have. There's going to be a poll going out in a moment, the last poll of the night. So count your top tricks here, as from Declara's point of view. And are you ready? Okay. So here comes the final poll of the evening. And the question is, how many top tricks does Declara have? I hope this is very easy. Okay, let's end the poll there, and I'll share the results with you. Most of you have gone for 8, 82%, with 6% saying 7, 9% saying 9, and 3% saying 10. Well, let's have a look at it. So top tricks, are tricks you can take without losing the lead off the top. So how many spades have you got? The answer is 2. You've got 1 heart, you've got 1 diamond, and you've got 4 clubs. So you have 8 top tricks. If you gave a different answer other than 8, then your counting skills are lacking, or you're too optimistic or too pessimistic. But you have 8 top tricks, don't you? And really, perhaps the only good chance is in spades to make an extra trick or 2. What you're hoping is that the Queen of Spades is in the north hand, and if you're able to successfully finesse against it, you can avoid the trick there and make at least 3 or 4 spade tricks. Now, you've got 8 tricks here. The opponents have led diamonds, which is one of the suits you're quite vulnerable in. And this is a good time for declarer to use the rule of 7. The rule of 7 says that when you've got a stopper in a suit, it's often a good idea to duck 1 or more times. So we're going to duck in diamonds, and we're going to duck twice. In other words, we have 5 diamonds between us and dummy. So we take 5 from 7, and that suggests we should duck twice. It's a chance to avoid losing. If we lose the lead, it gives us a chance that someone won't be able to run the suit. So declare on this one followed that rule. They played the 8 of diamonds. They played another diamond. Okay, so they've ducked twice. But now, inexplicably, South did not play another diamond. I don't know why. Some people see that ace and think, well, it's going to win a trick anyway. But the whole point is to knock it out. And unfortunately, they didn't carry on, or maybe it was a misclick. I don't know. Whatever happened now, declarer won that one with the king. And now, because they still have a diamond stopper, they're able to try the spade finesse. And even if it loses, they've still got the diamonds under control. So declarer won that one, and now was able to make the clubs and make the spades and make a heart at the end. And that was one of the declarers who made 9 tricks on that one. Okay. Now, a number of declarers went down on this one, and you can see why looking at the hand, because South has got the Queen of Spades, which means the finesse is going to fail. And when they win the Queen of Spades, they've got the diamonds to defeat you. So this is how it was played at another table. They played the king, they played the queen, they ducked twice, and then they played another diamond, knocking out the ace. Okay, and now declarer tried the spades. They played some clubs. Yeah, it's a good idea actually to play clubs, because by playing clubs, you're hoping the opponents will discard something that may help you. Maybe they'll discard diamonds or spades. So they played a couple of rounds of clubs. There's something to be said for playing all 4 rounds of clubs, but here they only played 2 rounds. Then they led a spade, and they actually played the king here. They didn't really want to risk the finesse here, so they played the 10, maybe hoping the opponents would cover an honor with an honor or whatever. Anyway, the king won. They crossed back to dummy with the queen of clubs, and then they played another spade. And North now is out of spades, and so discarded a heart. So actually, at this point, declarer doesn't really have any chance to make this contract, because they know the spade finesse is going to lose, and unless South has been discarding diamonds, which they haven't, they are going to get in with the queen of spades and run the diamonds. And that's actually what happened at this point. Declarer played low here, the defense got in with the Queen of Spades, and they were able to cash 3 diamonds. So they just cashed their 3 diamonds here, and they made 6 tricks. At the end, Declarer made the last 2, but went down 2, like a lot of people did. Could Declarer have done any better on this? Well, if we go back to the point, let's go back to this point here where, there we go, where the Jack of Spades is played and North discards. Well, North, Declarer now should realize there's no chance to make this contract, but there's still a chance to make 8 tricks. In other words, to go down just 1 trick. So you know you started with 8 tricks. So if I click on the GIB link, you can see the way to be just down 1 is instead to play your ace of spades here. And even though you won't make the contract here, you'll at least make 8 tricks. When you play the clubs, South will come under pressure as to what to discard, but they will always be able to defeat you. In the end, they're going to just hold you to 8 tricks, but it's 1 more than Declarer actually made here. So whatever happens now, if you play a heart, North takes the last 3 tricks. If you play a spade, South takes the last 3 tricks. Nothing you can do, but you can make 1 more trick there. Once you realize you're not going to make it, you should at least try to play for just down 1 instead of down 2. Okay. Any comments or questions on that? Do unmute yourselves if you have any questions. The hands tonight are all random. There's no theme in them. Apart from anyone who may need a partner, that's the end of the talk.